Your mornings decide your destiny. The way you rise determines how far you will go. Think about it. Every single day of your life begins with one choice: how you start. Do you rise with intention, or do you rise with distraction? Do you take command of the morning, or do you let the morning command you? That first hour, the moment your eyes open, is not just an accident of time. It is the most powerful opportunity you are given each day. And yet, most people waste it. They wake up to their phones, to the noise, to the demands of others, and they wonder why their lives feel heavy, why their dreams feel distant, why success always seems to belong to someone else. But here's the truth: the difference between the extraordinary and the ordinary is not luck, not chance, not even talent. It's what you do with your mornings. When you rise, you are setting the rhythm for the rest of your day. If you rise in chaos, you carry chaos. If you rise in clarity, you carry clarity. If you rise with discipline, you carry discipline, and those rhythms compound. One morning becomes a week, one week becomes a month, one month becomes a year, and soon you have a life that is nothing more than the sum of your mornings. That's why some people seem to live with endless momentum, while others feel stuck in circles. It isn't magic, it's mornings. Imagine two people. One wakes up each day at the last possible moment. They hit snooze 5 times, they scroll aimlessly through messages and social media, they rush through breakfast, or maybe skip it altogether. Their mind is cluttered before the sun is even fully up. They're late, they're reactive, they're already behind. The other person wakes up with intention. They breathe deeply before anything else. They move their body, they feed their mind, they set their goals. They are calm, centered, ready. Who do you think will own their day? Who do you think will shape their destiny? It is not about being perfect. It is not about waking up at some mythical hour, because someone said billionaires rise at 4 a.m. It is about deciding that your morning is sacred, that the way you rise is a reflection of the life you want to build. If you want strength, build it in the morning. If you want focus, create it in the morning. If you want peace, protect it in the morning. If you want success, design it in the morning. Some people argue, but I'm not a morning person. But listen carefully. The morning is not about preference, it is about power. The world is quiet in the early hours. The distractions are fewer, the noise is lower, the demands of others are not yet pulling at you. Those hours are your kingdom, and whether you rule them or waste them will decide how the rest of the day unfolds. And if you cannot command your morning, how will you ever command your life? Think about the most successful people you've ever heard of, not by name, but by pattern. They value the first hour of the day. They know it is not about what the world throws at you, but about how you prepare to meet it. Some use that time to reflect, some to write, some to exercise, some to learn, but none of them give that hour away to chance. Because they understand that destiny is not created in big events. It is crafted in small disciplines repeated every day. Your mornings decide your destiny because they are the foundation of discipline. And discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Anyone can set a goal, anyone can dream, but not everyone can discipline themselves to rise with purpose. And that is where the difference lies. When you master your mornings, you begin to master yourself. Ask yourself, how have you been rising? Are you waking up in control, or are you waking up controlled? Are you shaping your day, or letting it shape you? Are you walking into the morning like a leader, or crawling into it like a prisoner? These are not small questions, because your answers will point directly to your destiny. There was once a young man who struggled with direction. His life felt like a blur of wasted days. He stayed up too late, woke up too late, always behind, always exhausted. He told himself he wasn't motivated enough, that success wasn't for people like him. Then, one day, he decided to change only one thing: his mornings. He set his alarm an hour earlier. At first, it was painful. He hated it. But slowly, that hour became his secret weapon. He read, he wrote, he exercised, he planned. Within a year, his life looked unrecognizable. He hadn't just changed his mornings, he had changed his destiny. Why? Because when you control the way you rise, you control the energy you carry. That energy determines the quality of your actions, and your actions determine your results. Destiny is not some faraway finish line. It is not fate waiting for you at the end of your life. Destiny is the accumulation of the choices you make every single day. And the most important choice you make is the very first one. Will you rise with purpose, or will you rise with excuses? Will you rise as a creator, or will you rise as a consumer? Will you rise as the person you want to be, or will you rise as the person you've always been? The way you rise determines how far you will go. Rise in doubt and you'll carry doubt. Rise in courage and you'll carry courage. Rise in discipline and you'll carry discipline. Rise in chaos and you'll spend your day putting out fires that never should have been lit. Rise in peace and you'll carry peace into everything you touch. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to change your entire life today. You just have to change your morning tomorrow. That's it. Set the tone differently and watch how the hours unfold. Stack those mornings, one after another, and watch how weeks change, months change, years change. Watch how destiny bends in your favor. Your mornings are a message to the universe about who you are becoming. They say, I am here, I am ready, I am intentional. Or they say, I am distracted, I am tired, I am unprepared. Which message do you want to send? Which destiny do you want to create? Every sunrise is an invitation to rise with it. To rise stronger, to rise clearer, to rise bolder, to rise as the person you are meant to be. And if you accept that invitation, if you commit to owning your mornings, you will find that destiny is no longer a mystery. It is no longer something that happens to you. It is something you are building, step by step, morning by morning, rise by rise. Discipline in the first hour of your day creates freedom in every hour that follows. At first, that may sound strange. How could discipline, something that feels strict, controlled, even limiting, lead to freedom? But if you've ever lived without discipline, you already know the answer. Without discipline, you are at the mercy of your moods, your impulses, and your distractions. You drift through the day reacting to everything around you instead of creating your path. But when you begin your morning with discipline, when you take control of that first sacred hour, you set yourself free from the chaos that steals most people's lives. Think about the first 60 minutes after you wake up. Most people waste it. They reach for their phone before they even get out of bed. They scroll through emails, messages, notifications, all the noise of the world before they've even spoken to themselves. And in doing so, they hand over their freedom. They start their day reacting to everyone else's demands, everyone else's opinions, everyone else's emergencies. From that point on, they are chasing the day instead of leading it. Now imagine another way. You rise and instead of rushing, you own the silence. You move your body, you focus your mind, you feed your spirit. You plan your day with intention. That discipline in the first hour creates order, clarity, energy, and direction. And once you've established that, the rest of the day unfolds under your control. You are no longer living by accident. You are living by design. That is freedom. Freedom is not the absence of structure. Freedom is the result of the right structure. When you discipline your mornings, you buy yourself back the hours of your life. Instead of wasting them on procrastination, indecision, and distraction, you spend them building, creating, and becoming. The world around you might still be chaotic, but within you there is calm, because you've already won the morning, and when you win the morning, you win the day. Consider the difference between two people. One wakes up late, rushes to get ready, skips breakfast, races to work already stressed, already behind. Their day feels like a storm that they are powerless against. The other person wakes an hour earlier with purpose. They exercise, they read, they set goals, they practice gratitude. When they step into the world, they are already ahead. They carry discipline like armor. Who do you think will make better choices? Who will seize more opportunities? Who will live with more freedom? Discipline in the first hour does not chain you. It liberates you. Because when you control how you start, you no longer spend the rest of the day cleaning up the mess of a chaotic morning. You don't waste time on regrets about sleeping too late, missing deadlines, or skipping self-care. Instead, you walk into each hour with strength, clarity, and momentum. Many people say they want freedom. They want financial freedom, emotional freedom, creative freedom, but they resist discipline. What they don't see is that freedom is built on discipline. Without discipline, your finances will control you, your emotions will control you, your distractions will control you. But when you discipline yourself, you gain the freedom to choose. You gain the freedom to say yes or no with power, not fear. You gain the freedom to live on your terms. And the simplest place to build that discipline is in the morning, in that first hour. Because mornings are pure, they are unclaimed, the world has not yet demanded your attention, it is your time, and if you can discipline yourself to master that time, you set the tone for everything that comes after. There was a young woman who once struggled with direction. Her mornings were chaos. Late nights turned into late mornings. She woke up exhausted, rushed, always behind. She thought discipline would trap her. But when she finally committed to structuring her first hour, waking early, meditating, journaling, exercising, her life began to change. Within weeks, she was calmer, more productive, more confident. Within months, she had launched a business she had only dreamed about. She realized the truth. Discipline did not take away her freedom. It gave her freedom to live the life she wanted. The first hour is your foundation. If the foundation is weak, the building will collapse. If the foundation is strong, the building can rise as high as you dare to imagine. That's why discipline at the start of the day is not optional if you want greatness. It is essential. It teaches you that your future is built not on grand gestures, but on consistent choices. It teaches you that freedom is not something given to you. It's something earned through self-mastery. Think of an artist. The freedom to create a masterpiece comes not from randomness, but from discipline. The discipline to practice daily, to refine their craft, to push through resistance. Think of an athlete. The freedom to win on the field comes from the discipline of training in the quiet hours when no one is watching. Think of a leader. The freedom to inspire others comes from the discipline of leading themselves first. And in the same way, your freedom to live the life you dream of will come from your discipline in that first hour. It may be hard at first, waking earlier than you're used to, resisting the pull of comfort, saying no to the easy path, but remember this, every moment of discipline creates a lifetime of freedom. When you wake with purpose, you gain hours of focus. When you move your body, you gain energy for the day. When you feed your mind, you gain clarity for decisions. When you set your goals, you gain direction. Each act of discipline multiplies into freedom. The first hour is your declaration to yourself. It says, I am in charge of my life. I am not a victim of time. I am a master of it. I do not wait for freedom to arrive. I create it. And when you say that every morning, not in words but in actions, you transform not just your day, but your destiny. Discipline in the first hour of your day creates freedom in every hour that follows. And freedom, true freedom, is not about doing whatever you want, whenever you want. True freedom is the ability to live as the highest version of yourself, to use your time with intention, to rise above distraction and excuses, to create a life that reflects your purpose. And it all begins the moment you open your eyes. If you win the battle of the morning, the rest of the day will already belong to you. Every single sunrise is a battlefield. The fight is not against the world, not against other people, not against impossible odds. The first fight of the day is always against yourself. It is against the voice that tells you to stay in bed, the voice that says you'll do it later, the voice that insists comfort is better than growth. That voice is loudest in the morning, because the morning is where destiny is decided. Think about it. How many times have you lost the day before it even began? How many times have you opened your eyes only to hit snooze again and again until regret crept in? How many times have you started your day in chaos? Rushing, running late, feeling behind before you even began. And how often did those mornings lead to days that were unproductive, stressful, wasted? That is no accident. The way you face the morning is the way you face the day. Winning the battle of the morning is not about perfection. It's not about a rigid checklist that turns you into a machine. It's about claiming the first hour of your day as yours. It's about saying, I will not begin in defeat. I will begin in victory. Because when you rise with strength, when you win those first decisions, getting up on time, moving your body, focusing your mind, feeding your spirit, you create momentum, and momentum is everything. The hardest step is always the first one. That's why mornings are a battle. The weight of your blanket feels heavier than any challenge you'll face later. The comfort of sleep feels sweeter than any accomplishment. The excuses feel louder than any plan. But when you push past that first resistance, when you stand up and begin, you've already done the hardest thing you'll do all day. You've beaten yourself. And once you've beaten yourself, nothing outside of you can defeat you. Imagine a warrior preparing for battle. If they step onto the battlefield unarmed, unfocused, unprepared, they are already defeated. But if they begin the day sharpening their sword, strengthening their body, training their mind, they step into the fight already victorious. Your morning is that preparation. The world will throw challenges at you. Unexpected problems, stress, doubt, negativity. But if you've already fought and won in the morning, you carry armor into those battles. The truth is, most people don't lose because they're not capable. They lose because they surrender too early. They surrender in the morning when they hit snooze. They surrender when they let distraction claim the first moments of their day. They surrender when they begin in defeat. And once you surrender in the morning, the rest of the day is simply survival. But when you rise with discipline, when you win those first minutes, you create a different kind of day. You walk into it with confidence, you walk into it with energy, you walk into it with clarity, and people can see it in you. They can see the fire in your eyes, the steadiness in your voice, the strength in your posture. That's not an accident, that's the victory of the morning radiating into every hour. There was once a man who lived years in frustration. Every day felt like a repeat of the last. He was late to work, tired, reactive, always putting out fires instead of building anything meaningful. He blamed the world, his circumstances, his luck. But the truth was simple. He was losing the battle of the morning. When he finally decided to change, he started small. No more snooze button. 10 minutes of exercise. 10 minutes of reading. 10 minutes of journaling. That's it. But those 30 minutes turned into strength, clarity, and purpose. Within months, his career shifted, his relationships improved, his confidence soared. Nothing outside him had changed. He had simply started winning his mornings, and in doing so, he had started winning his life. The battle of the morning is the battle of choice. Will you choose to rise or stay down? Will you choose to prepare or procrastinate? Will you choose to lead yourself or follow your weakness? And make no mistake, this choice is not small. It is everything, because habits stack. One choice leads to another. If your first choice is defeat, the second choice becomes easier to lose. But if your first choice is victory, the second becomes easier to win. Winning the morning means deciding what matters before the world decides for you. It means setting your own tone before someone else sets it for you. It means acting on your values instead of reacting to noise. And that single shift creates a chain reaction that makes every other hour of your day easier to own. Have you ever noticed how one good morning can make you feel unstoppable? How one day of rising early, moving your body, and starting with focus makes you feel like you could conquer anything? That feeling is proof. Proof that when you win the morning, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. And here's the thing, mornings will always test you. Even the strongest people wake up some days not wanting to move, not wanting to fight, not wanting to begin. But strength is not built in the days when it's easy. Strength is built in the days when it's hard, when the bed is warm, when the excuses are loud, when the temptation to quit is strongest. Winning in those moments builds a foundation so unshakable that the rest of the day cannot break it. The world may bring storms, but if you've already won the morning, you've already built your shelter. The world may bring obstacles, but if you've already won the morning, you've already built your strength. The world may bring negativity, but if you've already won the morning, you've already built your focus. The rest of the day belongs to you because you claimed it at sunrise, so ask yourself, what is your morning battle? Is it the snooze button? Is it your phone? Is it procrastination? Is it the belief that you don't have the energy or the time? Whatever it is, face it head on, defeat it. And when you do, you'll realize that the battle was never against those things. It was always against yourself, and winning that battle is the greatest victory of all. The morning is your proving ground. It is where you show yourself who you are. It is where you decide whether you are a prisoner of comfort or a warrior of discipline. It is where you prove that your excuses are smaller than your purpose. Win there, and everything else becomes easier. The battle of the morning is the battle for your future. Every time you win it, you are building a destiny that belongs to you. Every time you lose it, you are handing your life over to chance. Choose to win, choose to rise, choose to fight. Because once you win the morning, the rest of the day doesn't just belong to you. It obeys you.